drug test him.
Guys, we're day number 3, but first, before we start the motor build, I want to show you our new tow pig. We got our 2000 Freightliner toter home. Let's go check this baby out. Right now, we don't know who made the box to the truck, but we do know it's a Freightliner FL80. And I'll come show you some of the interior, just some news on it. The owner tore out the interior of the box to put a car in it. We don't know why, but as of right now, we're going to start adding some of the stuff. If you can see it over there, that is the interior to the toter home, so let's give you a quick view. As you can see, she's completely pristine. The owner took care of it really well. Now let's show you the box. So you can see that the owner made almost like a little gate to put the car inside. Let's go check it out real quick. So you can see the car used to be loaded up in here. We're going to start loading up the interior very soon and use this to travel around the world. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to part 2 on the burnt razor motor, if it'll start or not. Last time we already hooked up the starter and it does turn. It doesn't start though, just because we haven't put it in the car yet. Just for right now, we're gonna throw on the stator cover just so we can do a quick compression test, because we definitely want to make sure the motor, nothing melted on the inside, like the rings, blah 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 blah. And then we put the water pump on. We just put the outer parts on just so we can get it done quicker. And let's just get her done. We're gonna first start off and putting the stator gasket on. You definitely wanna make sure you have this, make sure there's no oil coming out from there. That should line up right there, yep. And there we go. So you're gonna wanna be super careful with these. It has a super duper duper, like super strong magnet. You're gonna wanna make sure you get it perfect the first time and definitely not the second one. It should have holes that line up. I really hope they do, because if not. Okay, we should have got it right there. There you go. Whew. Perfect, right on the money. So we got all our OEM new bolts, just so we're not using the burnt ones. It got my finger too. We got the stator cover on, getting her looking brand new. So we're gonna start by taking one spark plug by another, taking them out and doing a quick compression test with our Rugged Geek jumper. Let's get it done. All right, we're gonna start by taking these out. Whew. All right, in my opinion, these things are the best. It's just from Home Depot, but you got that little thing. And then I think if you turn it, it's got a little flashy light too. But this is really easy for like spark plugs too. Boom. Boom, yep. There she is. Right, so this has a little thread right there to, once you get that threaded in enough, like that. This is Matco, it's a really good set. You should be able to find this at like Harbor Freight too. But we've had this for like 10 years maybe. Before I was born, just a little baby. There we go. All right, now we're gonna be using our Rugged Geek starter. We're gonna hook it up to our starter and then basically just run it, and then we'll get compression from right here. We got Mr. Trustworthy here, the Rugged Geek RG1000. Make sure you guys check this out on Instagram. Super awesome product, pretty affordable as well. And just gonna hook this up right here. So you click boost just to get a little more voltage out of it, and then we'll hook the red up to the starter. The black's on the ground. There she goes, 150. So that's good. We'll pull out the other one, put the other spark plug back in, and test the other piston. All right, we have this spark plug holder. It's probably from Ace Hardware, I know. But there we go. There you go. You see those little springy things on there attaching to it? These are awesome. Let's get this back in there. There you go. right, we'll hook it up again. All right, we hit boost again just till it hits green. It says correct, and then black up, and then 157. Both pistons good compression. Let's throw her in. Super impressed with our results so far. Fingers crossed, you know, it's almost already confirmed that the motor does run. We can already tell that it has very, very, very low hours on it. Look at how high the compression is. Normally they're supposed to run, like the bottom line I think you can go is like -10 or up 10 from 120. But the higher compression, the better on these motors, and high compression means we should be able to build some horsepower on it. It's not what high compression means, but that definitely means it has low hours on it. It hasn't been used much. So hopefully we're able to make some power on this thing. We're putting a bigger turbo on it, built from Pure. So we're gonna have a good time. This car's gonna be rowdy. All right, we're always gonna trust in our OEM Polaris oil filters. We don't wanna go with anything off-brand, at least for right now. We're gonna put a new one on just because we do have to cycle it. It should have a little bit of dirt, and we're gonna put a little bit of oil right here just to make sure she's lubricated well. Don't worry, this is like cheap oil, and then we're gonna actually put high performance oil once we're done. We just have to cycle it through. There you go. And obviously we're gonna actually get some real pliers and tighten this down, but just... All right, so we're putting the oil filter on just so we make sure no debris is falling in there. Obviously from this, we're gonna have to replace that just so it's not falling in there and then getting oil inside the motor. For starters, you can see why we put the oil filter on. It's just because you see all that debris that fell on there. We just don't want that falling on the threads and then having the oil cycle through and having all that debris in there. Definitely not good for the motor. And we're also gonna throw an exhaust gasket on it. So we're gonna run it over with a wire brush right here on these studs. Now that we have it cleaned up, we have an OEM gasket from Polaris as well. These right here, you're gonna want to make sure you top them M8 1.25, and you're gonna want to make sure you top that. They make your life way easier. We normally get ours cross-threaded, so tapping these out just to the same thread. There's from factory, they're not super good, so it definitely makes your life easier. There we go. Perfect. All right, awesome. We just put the turbo on, and then we just put the water pump on, so we're going to start just getting some of the bolts tightened. Comment down below what you think this is. This obviously came off the motor, so I'll give you guys a response. So me by myself, I can't take this motor down. So I'm gonna get a tire and kind of carry it. Obviously I'm not gonna drop the motor, but I'm gonna try and lay it down safely on one of the tires. I just wanna make sure I'm not, dropping the motor. I don't really have help around here. So we're gonna try and get it done. I'm gonna lay a tire down, and then I'll basically just put it up from the tire onto a jack and then carry it up to the car, jack the motor up, and get it onto the car. And it looks badass. So now with all this burnt on it, we got the truss on, and then the motor mounts on, and then we basically just got the works done. We're about to throw it in the car as of right now. So just for today, and we'll throw it in the car, actually get it fully hooked up, and see if we can get it running by today. Worked a little bit. I dropped it a tiny bit, but it worked. All right, and then next thing I'll be doing, I'll be setting the jack right there and then pulling it over there to that car, just because I'm not gonna be able to move it all the way over there myself. So I'm gonna pick it up, drop it onto the jack, roll it over there, jack the motor up, and get it in the car. Now that we have the motor on the jack, roll it up there, jack it up, and then get it onto the car. Alright, now that we have the motor just laying in the car, if you see these two little bolts right here laying down in the motor mount, those have to go in those tiny two holes right there. So we're going to get that in. The hard part's basically over, so let's just hook that up and then get it done. Alright, you can see we have the motor mounts lined up. So just for right now, I'm gonna get everything hooked up, like electrical wiring, just for the motor, and then that's when I'm gonna start throwing in the transmission. But I'm not gonna hook up the transmission to the motor just yet. I'm gonna hook up the intake first, just so I can hook it up to the gas and stuff like that and the water lines, and see if it actually starts first before we put everything together. Alright, I got the transmission semi in. So I've basically gotten everything hooked up on the motor. Transmission looks brand new next to it. So yeah, we're gonna get it done, but pretty much that's where we're standing for right now. And we're just gonna keep on going. Alright, y'all, so I'm not gonna mount anything yet. I already have the transmission in. I'm not gonna mount it though. The motor's already mounted. But the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna install the intake, which has the intercooler in it, and the fuel rails in it. I'm gonna hook it up, make sure it'll actually start before, just because I don't wanna already mount the transmission. It's per se very hard to mount the transmission, just because you have to put the clutches on, the back plate on, and everything. So I'm going to, just for right now, I'm gonna have the transmission sit in there. It just makes it easier, because if I put the intake on before the transmission, then I have to take if the car does start, to take the intake out and reinstall the transmission. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna have the transmission already just sitting in there, and then install the what's it called, the intercooler and the intake, throttle body, etc. And then basically just try and go for a quick start. Alright guys, I got this oil right here. I'm going to open it up, and basically just going to get it right in the car. We're actually starting to get ready to do, to start it. Obviously cheap oil. I'm going to put some high performance oil once I get to that point. But, yeah. So cranked. Need to make sure why it's not staying on first. There's a couple of little things that aren't fully hooked up yet. So yeah, we're gonna get that going and basically just start fully mounting everything. All right, after a little looking around, I think we may have found what's wrong with it. So I plugged in the O2 sensor, which wasn't plugged in before. You never know. So we're gonna try and hit it another time. not seems to not work, so I'm gonna go up and look up the diagonal codes and then diagnostic codes and then see what's wrong with it. All right, also after sorting everything out, we think the ignition coils are bad. Just after time, those have been used for like 2 to 3 years, so that's what we think is bad for now. We're gonna have to call it a day for right now and go get some OEM ignition coils, but we'll catch you when we do that. What's up, guys? Before you start your day, you're always going to want to start out with Grip Clean's hand and tool wipes. We can see our table has anti-seize, grease, motor oil. Anything this table's got, that motor had on it. So we're going to try using our Grip Clean hand and tool wipes. Let's try this out. All right, check this out. All right, we're gonna grab one of our rags. You can already see all that. All right, you can see this. We're gonna go at it again one more time. All right, let's run it with the rag again. All right, let's peel this tape. Oh yeah, big differences. You gotta have your table clean. When you do it, use Grip Clean. Woo! What's up, guys? We're here with American Lifting USA. We got their product right here, and they went ahead and sent us these floor jacks right here. As you can see, they went ahead and sent us this, and what's super cool about this is I don't have to use my lift anymore, and I have more space, free space, to just go and walk around. Before, I had to climb over those. So super awesome company, and the quality is really good. As you can see, the car's super sturdy. That thing's not going anywhere. So if you guys need more room to work on your stuff, American Lifting USA has you covered. Let's take a quick break from working real quick to tell you about MicroPro tools. These are the essential tools I'll be using. The MicroPro torque wrench, as you can see, and then this right here to tighten our bolts faster. We'll get it like that as soon as she actually finally stops. Then we'll take her off and wrench her down. Then we'll be using some cutters, needle nose pliers, and etc. Then we have our flex head ratchet with our standard metric sockets. So let's get right to this. We're gonna have fun. We have the MicroPro torque wrench, so super easy. You can get this, tighten really fast, then move it up, just like this, and torque her down. Let's get right to it. Okay guys, we found some minor issues right there. We have a small leak from the oil cooler, as you can see up there, and we're leaking fine amounts of oil. So we're gonna try and get a new breather, new block for this car, and basically just getting going. Other than that, as you saw, she starts and she runs, so we'll just keep it going. We're gonna go ahead and remove the oil cooler to see if we can find any cracks or maybe a missing seal, and just go from there, really. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, there's no seal on it. We're going to have to get a new one for it. But, yeah, that's all from the motor. So we're going to run some more oil through it and get a seal for it. Let's go ahead and wipe the oil cooler off as well as our MicroPro tools. So let's just start with this. As you can see, let's get this off. And this motor's been left out in the rain, so we got to where debris got in the motor. This is a new oil cooler, but it got on that. You can see obviously the difference right there. Let's go ahead and throw this thing back on. Thank you to Grip Clean. Obviously, thank you to Harbor Freight as well. This is a Harbor Freight microfiber. And then this right here is the O-ring set, also from Harbor Freight. It would have took us way longer to order OEM ones, so thank God for Harbor Freight having us covered. Now that we reinstalled the oil cooler with its O-rings, let's go check if it starts. Hopefully she will. cooler situation all fixed, with the oil stopped leaking, we can actually start assembling this thing. There we go, using the 15mm Michael Pro socket, and we are just about close to just putting back the rear suspension on, and we'll be running her. We're gonna go ahead and put the belt on just for right now. All right, now with the clutches on, let's go ahead and give her a good start. All the motor parts finished up. I got to put a couple hose clamps on right there, and then in a couple other places. Other than that, all the engine assembly is completely done, and now we're just going to start really assembling the suspension, and we should be going good from there. Okay guys, so right now we're going to use Revlox anti-seize on our Rhino 2.0 Super ATV axles. As you can see, it has quite a bit of rust on there, so we're going to want to get some inside that and inside the transmission. And as well as a quick update, we have the trailing arms on and all of our, our radius rods on. So as of right now, that's how far we've gotten, but I'm going to go lube this up with Revlox anti-seize. Alright guys, I got a small update for you. We have both the radius rods on, and basically now I actually got the sway bars on too as well. Basically now I'm getting ready to put the shocks on. I need to tighten a couple things up first, and then basically just keep going from there. Woo! Hey guys, another update. So I'm gonna have to take the jacks off just because I need to get the shock on right here. Other than that, these things have been amazing. If you have a car up to 3,000 pounds, these work absolutely perfect. The only reason being I need to take it off is just because I need to lower it down just so I can get this shock on. Other than that, these things have been absolutely amazing, so let's just keep on pushing. Woo! All right, guys, we got her done up, and oh yeah, she's looking good. I'm gonna call it a day, just for today. It's approximately about 11, so I'm done for the day, but I also finished the car. All we have to do tomorrow, which I'm gonna change, is just the oil. I'm gonna just go through the motor a couple times with oil, make sure there's no debris inside of it. I wouldn't want to score any of the pistons. So we're gonna go ahead and do that tomorrow, but today I'm just gonna lay down and kick back. But yeah, I'm done for today, so just gonna kick back. And I have to finish my mess tomorrow. I'm not gonna do that today. It's about 11, so I'm tired and done for the day, but yeah, we finished it. There we go. Next day, we're finishing up the car. We really just need to do a couple things, like bleeding the brakes just because the calipers had to come off the car, and just a couple other things, re-drain the oil, and then run through it, and then she's done, just like minor touch-ups. So we're just gonna start by draining the oil and then refilling it and kind of like recirculating it. That was really hot. Should have expected that. Whew. All right, guys, so we're gonna do one more oil change, and then if this one goes good, we're gonna do another oil change. Obviously, let the car circulate for a little bit, then we're gonna do another oil change, and then if we're good from there, we're gonna go out and give this thing a test. Always gotta lubricate it before. Perfect, there you go. We're gonna go ahead and recirculate it one more time, and then we're gonna drain this one out and add more oil in. All right, right now we're gonna take her first test ride out. Guys, overall, super duper duper impressed with the motor that's been sitting into a yard with 4 years after being put through a fire and thrown into a car and just straight out doing 360s. I know 2 episodes is way too quick, but I'm glad it didn't take longer. So guys, make sure you guys comment down below for any next projects that come to your mind. I will try and get them done. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on your post notifications to see more videos like this. And you guys have a nice day, and we'll catch you next time.